All right, so let's talk a little bit about SNAP and EBT and all these sorts of things. And so some of the kind of overview. So 1939 is when the food stamp pilot program was created during the Great Depression. In 1964, the Food Stamp Act under LBJ's War on Poverty made it permanent. And so this is the classic government overreach type of thing. It gets created in times of extreme need, and it gets established in times of normal prosperity and where life is okay. This is exactly the same thing that happened with federal income tax being withheld. It used to be that you had to pay your taxes at the end of the year. That was what we did throughout all of human history. And now they did it, I believe it was during World War II, they started to withhold your taxes before you received it because it was like, oh, the government needs it. And then it's like the same thing they try to push through all this stuff during COVID. And then it's like, okay, this is going to be our new rule. This is going to be our new way of life for the time being, just because it's an emergency. And then it's just like, this is our new normal. This is why the politicians never let a crisis go to waste. In 2008, the program was renamed SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It was administered by the USDA and funded through the Farm Bill every 5 years. Eligibility for this is having an income that is less than 130% of the federal poverty line, or less than 100% of your net income being under the federal poverty line. Non-citizens are ineligible if they're undocumented immigrants, though lawful residents and refugees may qualify. We have a good number of those that are receiving. They estimate about 1.5 million people who are non-citizens are receiving SNAP benefits. Work requirements apply to most able-bodied adults aged 16 to 59, and then there's time limits on able-bodied adults without dependents. They have time limits on how long they can receive SNAP benefits, theoretically. Now, are these systems held to the highest standard, or is it really difficult to get these things? Absolutely not. And that's part of the problem when they're at the federal level. When you're applying for something and somebody who's not even there can see to say, like, is this good? Do you actually qualify? Do we want to give our money to you? We don't have the opportunity to do that. And so let's just talk really quickly, just breaking down the difference between SNAP and EBT. SNAP is a federal program providing nutrition assistance, what we used to call food stamps. And so for a long time, it was just called food stamps. You're on food stamps. Now it's that you're on SNAP. EBT is electronic benefits transfer. This is the debit card system that states use to distribute SNAP and other benefits. And so it can be SNAP that's on your EBT, or it can be, there's other benefits as well that people can get, like WIC. WIC is a nutrition program for women, infants, and children. And then there's also TAMF, which is temporary assistance for needy families. And so there's a lot of these different things. And EBT is basically the electronic benefits transfer that gives you the debit card that actually puts money on that for you to use. And so SNAP today is given to 41.7 million people. That's 12.3% of the U.S. population. Annual costs are roughly $100 billion, or 1.5% of the federal spending. Put another way, when you think about the fact that we're going $2 trillion in debt per year, that's about 5% of the debt that we're going into, or it could be, you know. What's an interesting breakdown of statistics is this racial breakdown. As of fiscal year 2023, white people made up about 40% of SNAP recipients, while making up about 61.5% of the U.S. population. Black people make up 13% of the U.S. population, receive about 24.5% of SNAP recipients are Black. Only 12.5% of Hispanic, or of the SNAP recipients, are Hispanic. About 3.8% are Asian, and Native American is about 1.3%. Now, I got a great clip here from Caleb Hammer interviewing somebody on his finance show. If you've never seen it, it's pretty interesting, but you got to be pretty prepared for some language. I apologize here if there is any foul language. I don't remember from when I watched this video. He's kind of like Dave Ramsey, but he cusses you out. And so it's really interesting, but he goes pretty hard at people, and he gives them some good financial advice, but he's pretty direct. And I think it's kind of great. It's kind of like an unhinged Dave Ramsey, which is what you kind of want when you watch Dave Ramsey. He's kind of too nice to people sometimes. Sometimes he's savage, sometimes he's really nice. But let's listen here to what this lovely young lady has to say.
Go get a job. Work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5.
I don't want to.
There it is.
I don't
Government,
want to.
Kansas, Missouri, take away her food stamps right now. Did you just hear that? Take them away. I'm not even kidding.
I will
You
say,
don't want to? F you. That
no,
is
I
not
really
a
don't want
choice.
to.
Huh?
I don't want to.
Then that is not fair. That is not a choice. Subsidies should be there, and even more for those who cannot. You can, and you're choosing not to because you do not want to. And I knew the more and more I pushed on it, we would find out that you're doing this because you want to. Straight up, not because you can. Using ADHD and autism Yes. Is he able to communicate with other people?
Yes.
Okay, then I don't want to hear it. Come on. He's every Gen Beta
Who
ever.
knows?
Gen Alpha, Gen Beta. He is every single one of them born.
Maybe.
They're all getting diagnosed with this. If he's able to communicate with people and he's able to do things, and you're right, he probably didn't need the accommodations that you're thinking based on everything you're telling us. The more information is unlocked, the more we're finding out he could probably just go to school.
Well, he is back in regular school now because he was missing things that should have been taught when he was in kindergarten and first
Who would
grade.
have fucking thought?
And we needed help filling those holes.
Well, you would make more money, by the way, getting a babysitter that could watch 2 hours between school and you getting home. And you going and actually making money like a fucking adult. 31? What a joke.
I know.
So she's 31 years old, has a son who has autism and ADHD. Seems like a fairly light autism. He's not like nonverbal or anything like that. And he's school age. He's going to school and she just doesn't want to get a job. And so these are the types of people. I mean, you heard him say at the beginning, I thought it was kind of funny. Missouri, Kansas. It's like, that's literally me. That's literally like me just paying. Again, I have a family to provide for. She doesn't want to work. And so she had, I think from the context there, a child out of wedlock, and she just doesn't want to work. Now, I don't know what the Christian argument is for the liberal Christians that say like you should just pay for her. Like why you get upset about it? You should just pay for her. To me, it is sad that there's genuinely families who are struggling to get by, where you have parents who are working, whether they be illegal immigrants, whether they be whatever. And it's like my tax dollars, because I have to pay so much of my money in taxes, I have less to be able to give to them. That's to me just extremely unfortunate. It's extremely unjust that she is taking this money that it could be giving to them. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10, St. Paul says, if anyone will not work, let him not eat. He rips apart these people who are being lazy and just taking advantage of people because they're spreading the gospel. He says, we absolutely cannot do this. And so I don't understand why we think that we should just let people just take advantage of the system like this. And again, is everybody doing it? No. But this concept of people saying like, I'm just going to steal when EBT runs out. I've seen videos of men on there saying like, I'm not getting a job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. People were supposed to provide for me. Like, it is the most beta, broken society, broken system thing I've ever seen. It's truly unbelievable.